Diana, can you go ahead and call roll call?
Absolutely. Mr. Jones?
Not present.
Ms. Souza?
Present.
Mr. Lee?
He's not a member.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm here. Mr. Calvin?
Here.
Okay. Mr. Joshi?
He's not here.
Mr. Hussein?
Harry.
Here.
Okay. Mr. Gutierrez?
Here.
Joe is present?
No.
Okay.
Kenny.
Okay.
Here.
Mr. Wilson?
I don't see him.
Mrs. Silva?
I'm not on the. I'm here, but
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Mrs. Souza, I'm sorry.
no, she's not on the board either. But
Okay.
Katie is.
Okay. And Katie? Olivia? Present?
Katie. Yeah, she's present. I saw. Katie.
Present. Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, now everybody take a look. This is Katie.
Hi.
Okay, Mr. Vice Chair, the roll has been taken.
I'd like to introduce, speaking of, Katie Lasavia. She's new to the board. Welcome on board, Katie.
Thank you guys for having me.
Katie, while you're here, can we get just a real quick little background for those of us that aren't familiar with you?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Los Banos, and I returned back about 7 years ago, and I started working for my family's business, Los Banos Abattoir, expanded us into the meat market, so more of a retail storefront. And I've been working with Sharon a little bit over the farm to table dinner, and that's how this was presented to me to join.
Excellent. Well, welcome on board.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Okay, moving forward, agenda. I want to go ahead and approve the minutes of the meeting submitted for the April meeting.
I am so sorry, you do not have your minutes. We have been looking for those minutes and we will be sending them out to you. They were sent to us probably in April, but we've changed our lines. Everything's working now, finally, but we're still trying to find some things that were on our computers. So I talked to Diana, who does our minutes, and she's looking for them at her place too. So we will have the minutes and we will send those forward to you.
Okay.
And also, I was able to get the PBID budget, which is not on your agenda this morning. So I went ahead and sent it out to everybody. Probably came from Janelle.
You're referencing the balance sheet you sent out, correct?
Yes. So that's just for your information, so you have it. And if you have questions, please call us after the meeting.
Okay, next we're going to hear from Stacy Souza regarding the economic development report. Are you on, Stacy?
Yes, so I'm just going to give a brief update on the City of Los Banos's budget. So the budget is going to be presented to the City Council next Wednesday, the 16th, at a public hearing. We have held 2 workshops regarding the budget. What has been incorporated and is exciting news for the downtown is some significant capital improvement funds for the downtown. So first is the Gateway Arch sign that's been funded, built into the budget. So starting July 1, we'll get funding to be able to design and construct and install, well, install and construct is the same, the archway sign. So we'll be moving forward with that project. And then we have funding for street trees on I Street. And that will be done. So what has to be done is retrofitting of irrigation and then planting of the street trees. And that's on the north side of I Street. On the south side of I Street, we are designing, and there's two components to that. There's designing with an engineer, the undergrounding of the utilities and the joint trench that needs to occur. So currently right now, and why the south side of I Street does not have pavers is because of the overhead utility lines. So we need to design through an engineering firm how to underground those utilities. So that's being done in this with this funding. And so funding is being allocated for that project. And then also as a part of that, there's a streetscape beautification, which would be with the landscape architect. So that though would be, we would be able to use that as really the playbook for downtown in general. But the first phase would be I Street, and then we would do second phase would be 6th Street, half of 6th Street, and then the rest is 6th Street. So as I see it, it'd probably be a 3-phase project in terms of infrastructure and the beautification of the streetscape with the sidewalks. So any questions with that? Pretty exciting that July 1, we're going to be able to start rolling and taking action on a lot of plans that have been discussed here with the Downtown Association.
Pretty exciting. Stacy,
Nice.
we used some PG&E funds to underground some lines about 20 years ago, and I know they save a little bit every year. They must have a savings account for us now that we could use to help with that.
So I looked into that, and the district, the undergrounding utility district that the city has formed, they have to create districts for each area that they're going to underground. And the district that they have right now is for H Street between, my understanding was, it's over by 2nd Street. So they've been saving those funds for the undergrounding of that project. And they've been saving those funds for, I think I was told like 11 years. And it takes a long time to accumulate what is PG&E credits that then get matched dollar for dollar for that undergrounding. And so when I was asked, okay, well, how do we create a district for downtown? The response to me was, okay, yeah, we can do that. And this was through Public Works. Yes, we can do that. It'll just take a long time to be able to accumulate those credits. And we would just do it quicker if we could just allocate the funds and just do it. So that seems to have been the decision of why we're moving forward the way we're moving, because it would just take forever to wait for one of those undergrounding districts to occur.
Now, you said on the north side of the I Street.
Yes.
Is that between 5th and 6th or 6th and 7th?
It's the whole way of I Street, the whole 2 blocks of I Street,
Oh,
replacing
okay.
trees and retrofitting the irrigation.
So I'm confused, Stacy. The north side of I Street is already done, isn't it?
It is. It's just the trees are diseased and really in bad shape. And with the tenant improvements that are being done for the theater, we feel at least we can put a little bit of the city's thoughts are we can at least, because that side is done. There isn't a lot of tear out that needs to occur or any undergrounding. That's an easier low hanging fruit to do right now. Those trees are diseased, need to be replanted. And there's a lot of missing trees that they have died because those raywood ashes were not a good species to have downtown, or in general is what we've learned throughout the city. We have issues of disease throughout the city. So that's why the north side is being done, because the south side takes some technical engineering to get that all worked out.
So the south side, the south side isn't in the works yet, or
It will be. So what will happen is this fiscal year, we're going to be designing that undergrounding, the joint trench utilities, and then what the streetscape will look like. So we may be able to create some parklets. Though those are some ideas and thoughts that, this group had that I've been able to carry forward to, the city council. So it could be parklets. It could be, bulb outs. It could be, we need to be able to design really what we want the streetscape to look like. And then next fiscal year, we'll go into construction.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, also, I think Ronnie's online if you want him to say anything on trees.
Awesome. Yes, Ronnie.
Yeah, hi. Hello. How you
Hello.
guys doing?
Hey, Ronnie.
All right. Good. Sorry, I got off track here with work. So you guys were talking about the new trees, I believe. Well, I really don't have much to say on that because that's you guys' decision. So all I can say is probably recommend the trees. And we talked about the irrigation. We're gonna try to retrofit that irrigation so that we have. Well, actually, no, we didn't decide on that part. If you guys are gonna have surface water for additional plants on the top, or
Ronnie,
uh-huh.
actually, you're gonna be on the agenda for approval. Talking about the trees. So while you're at it, why don't you just go ahead and do your presentation on what we've done and what you pulled out and why?
I'm sorry, you're talking about the pots?
No, I'm talking about the trees right now. The three that we looked at. And what they're gonna make a decision on, because that's on the agenda today.
Oh, the decision of the trees.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we presented the 3 trees. It was the cream metal natchez, the Oklahoma redbud, and the Chinese pistache. And
Also,
I think
but you also have given consideration to the Tom's tree and my tree.
oh yeah, the sycamore. Yeah, I brought that one as well. Well, I think that the sycamore tree is a little bit too big, and if we plant that tree there, it's a beautiful tree and everything, but we're gonna have to keep it small to avoid, hitting the buildings and clogging the gutters. So it's gonna defeat the purpose of having a big tree if you're gonna try to keep it small. So the maintenance is gonna be really high too. So it's probably better to have a smaller variety where it can grow naturally and provide a really good shape, and maybe the one with flowers also, like the natchez. The natchez is not a huge tree, it's a medium-sized tree. I want to say maybe 25 to 35 feet high, and it provides a nice, beautiful trunk and also flowers. The next size up will be the Chinese pistache, and that one is probably 30 to 45 feet. It's a little bit taller, and no flowers, but it's also oh, actually here at the gas station there's a natchez. Let me walk over there. The Chinese pistache there's no flowers, a little bit bigger, more shade, but a little bit more maintenance. The natchez is really low maintenance and natural look. Let me walk from here. Let me run real quick so you guys can get an idea. Here's a good example. Here, I'm walking out the.
Ronnie, we're just seeing your iPhone thing. I'm not seeing any photos.
Well, I'm actually walking here to the gas station. I want to switch the screen.
Okay.
Let's see. And of course, I'm not. Can you guys see me or no?
No.
Not yet.
No? Okay, well, I don't know how to to do this thing then. Share content. Oh, share content, maybe.
Ronnie,
now-
on your phone, you should have on the bottom, it should have like a icon that's a microphone and then like a video camera. Touch the video camera. That'll help. That'll let us see your video. There you go.
Oh, I see a start video. All right, cool. All right, and now, can I turn the camera or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Ronnie-
should be able.
Ronnie, it was much
Okay,
better when
well.
it was off.
Oh,
No, Ronnie, it's you're Taylor, don't be sending him away. Poor thing.
Let's see. I don't know how to switch the. I'm gonna turn. Yeah. Here's the. This the regular. Here, let me walk. I'm actually walking here. Regular one. They were planted at the same time. Here's the notches
You're still
See, that's
frozen on
not-
my screen.
with the white flower.
Oh,
It's
there we go.
bigger. Still frozen?
Now we can
No,
see.
that's good.
So this one here is the notches. Is a bigger size. Yeah, bigger size. Flowers. It's a beautiful trunk, a smooth trunk.
Can you-
like I
can
said,
you
this
zoom-
one was
Ronnie,
planted at
can
the
you-
same time.
Can you zoom in a little bit on the tree?
Okay.
Or is that too much technology?
I don't know. I'm just bringing the phone closer to it. I don't know.
Or can we do a field trip and just go look at them?
Now, it's not a huge tree.
We did that.
Yeah, that would be really good. Field trip will be the best. Now that's sorry. Let me stop the video now. Can you guys hear me better?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I would suggest not a big tree. Just because of that reason, you know, it's gonna have to be pruned a lot in order to keep it preventing problems with gutters. So medium size to small size is good.
Hey, Ronnie, I got
And then I'm gonna show
got a
you
question.
here also. Yeah,
You'll be called on in a few minutes for questions.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello. Okay, here's an update also on the pots. The pots for downtown.
Are you gonna go on in for the pots?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think Joe had a question on the other though, before you move forward to the pots.
Hey, Ronnie, on the trees,
Oh, okay. Well,
on the trees, can you hear me, Ronnie?
mhm.
Which tree, which variety?
Yes,
of
I can.
tree- Which tree would have a less intrusive root system where the roots wouldn't pull up, the pavers or concrete or anything like that?
The cray metal is not invasive at all. The root system, it's very minimum, the impact on the root system for cray metal. The Chinese pistache is not bad. It's not bad at all, but you're gonna have deep watering. So regardless of the type of tree, like right now we have redwood ashes there, and those trees are really bad for root invasion, and they're not even causing problems. Well, there's one or two that are bad, but not really as much as they normally do. And that's because of the deep watering that we have right now in there, the deep watering system. So it promotes the roots to go downward instead of looking for the surface water. So that's not a big concern with the system that there's already in place.
Okay, thank you.
Did you guys get that? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no problem. You guys have any more questions? I don't hear anything.
Sorry. Now go ahead if there's no more questions on the trees. And we did, and just so you know, there was about 5 of us. Taylor had to leave prior, but we did talk about the trees. We had a meeting, and we also, Ronnie had brought the trees out for us to physically look at. What I've asked him to do was basically what he's done today, talk about why a specific tree might not work for us, why the other trees have been selected. I asked for three trees, knowing that we had the one, and to let you guys know, because when we get to the agenda part for voting, this is on that agenda. We need to move forward in order to get this moving now. Joe has asked for us to move quickly so he can get it, because this is under, I believe, Stacy, this is under Joe's part of the budget. Is that correct? The
Right,
tree,
he needs to initiate the informal bid process because it's over $5,000. So he wants to get on that as quickly as possible so he can get the ball rolling.
so today we need to make a choice on the trees. We've been talking about these trees for 6 months or longer, actually probably closer to a year. And now we are at a point that we cannot prolong and ensure they're procrastinate. So we need to make a choice and move forward. That will come later. And because it's important to get these 4 items that we're going to have later in the on the agenda taken care of. If you've got questions regarding those trees, to why one's better than the other, right now is the time to talk to Ronnie on that.
Yeah, I will suggest to keep in mind that the cream metal is not gonna provide a lot of shade right away. The Chinese pistache will do better if you're expecting a lot of shade there. They're all gonna be small. I think you guys are gonna go with like 15-gallon size, so they're gonna look really small for the first 5 years or so. But the Chinese pistache will grow faster. Yep.
Didn't you feel when we first talked about this that we should do it 20 or 24 inch?
Yeah, I would suggest 24-inch boxes. Yeah, minimum. Yeah, 24-inch box will be a decent size to start with. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But even 24-inch, the Chinese pistache is going to grow faster. It's going to provide shade way faster than the other one. But again, no flowers. A little bit more maintenance. Yeah.
I think the one that the group looked at, that was got it down. We wanted answers to why the sycamore would not be good in the downtown area. And we also wanted answers to with the flowers and the other for maintenance and the branches. Some of them grew pretty good size actually. So if you could just extend on that information so they have it. Decisions.
Well, the sycamore, the first thing comes to mind is the size.
Roots.
It's really a big tree. The distance between the tree well and the building is only 12 feet. The canopy of a sycamore is like 60 feet. So that's the first issue right there. The second issue is going to be the maintenance. And I heard there was a gentleman that he was complaining about stuff going into his gutters. So the sycamores, they drop all the leaves, they drop fruits, seeds, seed pods, and also when when we do the pruning for those, it has a powder that is really bad for people's. So that might be an issue when they doing the pruning, especially if you have the whole main tree with sycamores. If they start pruning those trees, there's going to be a lot of issues because when we prune those trees, we had to wear like a double mask. It goes in our throat. It's like I don't even know how to explain that, but it kind of blocks our breathing. It's really bad. So we have to wear double mask in order to trim those trees. So that might be another issue. The fact that they're not going to look natural because they had to be severe cut. So I think there's too many negative things on a sycamore. I mean, they look beautiful, nice trunk and everything, but the cons are probably more than that. That's for the sycamore. What was the other one? You said to compare that one with the crepe myrtle?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Chinese pistachio, and it was another one.
I think criminal.
Chinese pistachio. Yeah, Chinese pistachio and the nachos. The good thing about Chinese pistachio is we know that they've been doing well in Los Banos area. You can see them everywhere, and everywhere you see them, they're doing great. They're tolerant to the climate that we have, which is dry, hot, and cold. So they do well here normally, and they don't tend to break. It doesn't get huge, and you still get the shade that is kind of needed here in Los Banos. So that's the good thing about that one. No flowers, a little bit bigger than the nachos. The nachos is a beautiful tree all the way around, but you're not gonna have the size that is needed for the hot days here for the shade. But it's a beautiful tree though. It's perfect because the maintenance is gonna be low. You don't have to do drastic cuts to keep it in shape. So that for that reason, I think that would be the best tree just because of those two reasons: the maintenance and the flowers, the looks of it. But that's something that you guys will have to decide if you guys want to sacrifice the shade for the flowers. That's your guys' decision.
Hey, Sharon, can I interject since I was at that meeting and I was listening to what everything was said?
Sure, of course.
So at the meeting, Joe Heim, who's in charge of parks and trees, was very open to all discussions and all ideas. He did recommend that the downtown consider smaller trees rather than larger trees on the middle of the blocks. And perhaps as a compromise, we could design the downtown so that the corners could be designed where they could accommodate a larger tree. So you'd have the larger trees on the corners and the smaller trees in the middle. From a personal standpoint, I looked at all 4 trees and I like the natchez. I like the flowers on the trees. Yeah, there's not as much shade as the sycamores, but if you do the bigger trees in the corners, you could still have nice trees in the middle. They would have flowers on them. They would be low maintenance. But Joe is very accommodating and will do whatever we want him to do.
Well, sort of.
For the
We
most
haven't been to all the other meetings that we've
most
had.
He was fairly accommodating. So
He was fairly accommodating. He, the facts are, he needs to hear what the downtown wants. And from there, and what we're trying to do and what we've been trying to do, Stacy can tell you too, because she's been in all of the meetings over the last year. And so has Ronnie, so they know what I'm talking about. We started out with real issues on trying to come to a decision together. So my direction was, we really want to work in a partnership. We want to make sure what we get is what's going to be accommodating to the downtown, as well as the weather within the community. within our city, and that we could work together to come to a decision. And so that's why it's real important that it came down to these 3 trees, because believe me, we've gone through lots of trees, as Tom can tell you too, over the last several months. And so this is a very important decision because it's not something we're going to plant and then pull up and plant and pull up. But we are going to be laying sidewalks. We do want to make sure that it's what we want to see in our downtown. And I've also talked to the city manager, the acting city manager, as well as the others manager here. But the acting city manager really wants us to come to a decision as well and move forward. So we need to think about this before we make a vote in a few minutes here. So we are working together. These are the 3 that have come before us, and after several months of looking at several different trees. Stacy, do you have anything to add to this, or Tom? Because I know you guys have been working with us on it too.
I think it, like Ronnie said, it really comes down to wanting to trade off between shade and flowering. I will tell you, my personal thought at first was no way, crepe myrtle. That's just an ornamental tree. It really isn't going to do it's not going to be helpful for downtown. But it actually really changed my opinion looking at the tree in real life. I'm a believer now of the Natchez crepe myrtle. So seeing it in real life, it's not your typical crepe myrtle. It is a bigger tree. It's beautiful. The leaves are beautiful. The flowers are beautiful. And it would look really nice downtown. And the Chinese pistache, it will have a bigger canopy. But that was really it. I think I like the crepe myrtle. I ended up walking away thinking the crepe myrtle would look really beautiful downtown.
What if we went every other, stagger it, crepe myrtle and Chinese pistachio? Or is that too much of a maintenance nightmare?
Ronnie?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. We're gonna have pots, and those pots, I'm gonna put trees in those pots as well. We're gonna have, I think I'm gonna have smoke trees, desert willow, and you know what? I was planning to put multiple trunk Natchez, 3 varieties. So probably Chinese pistache will work because we're gonna have some more Natchez in those pots. So yeah, then you get the shade.
Will they grow around the same timeline for like height purposes?
You mean the pistachios and the Natchez?
Yeah, if we rotate them in between, are we gonna have one short tree and one really tall tree, or will they gradually grow around the same time period?
No, the Chinese pistachio will grow faster and bigger. Yeah.
You definitely want a bigger trunk, right? I mean, a bigger pot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Stacy was voicing a concern or not, but I kind of feel the same way. And I'm sort of staying out of this conversation because I'm not going to have to look at them every day. But I have some concerns about uniformity. If what we're trying to do is make downtown look as one cohesive thing, then perhaps going with all the same tree. I heard mention of bigger stuff on corners, and I don't know enough about the corners to say that that's an okay thing. I just do know that there are a lot of buildings that, we can't move. And the sycamores, I believe it was said, have a 60-foot span, which means they're going to have 30 feet headed in any direction, which is going to put them in any building you put it next to. And I also have concerns about mixed trees as far as different sizing, kind of like what Stacy just said. I feel like I want everybody to see that we have done some, I mean, and I get it, right? As soon as we plant new trees, everybody's going to go, hey, look, this is neat. This is new. But I'm more worried about like 2 years down the road when everybody can go, oh, look, somebody give it some thought. Everything's uniform. And it all looks right. So that's my 2 cents and I'll get out of the way.
Okay, Tom, do you have anything you want to input?
I'm still in favor of more shade than anything personally. I mean, I'll go with whatever the group wants to do, but I just feel that downtown shade is extremely important on the street.
Yes, I agree that it gets really hot here, and like when I was there at the community center with the trees, I picked a spot under the tree and it wasn't even that hot. And we were enjoying that shade. We didn't even notice, but we were enjoying that shade. It's important to have the shade when it's 105 degrees here, or even over 95 degrees. It's really important to have that shade.
And it seems like the Chinese pistachio is going to be the biggest bang for the buck overall.
Yep. And remember, I'm gonna put notches on those pots.
Right.
So we're still gonna have some flowers.
Okay,
Pots look really good, Ronnie. You did an excellent job on the pots that we saw the other day. This is all very exciting.
Thank you.
Vice Chairman Souza, if we could go ahead, then if there's nothing else, we can go ahead and get through the rest of the agenda, but that will be an action item to be taken care of.
Okay.
Thank you, Ronnie.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh,
Next
hey, before you leave, I have one question. When
Mhm.
will our 30 pots be in, and when will things be down in the front?
Okay, the pots are here. So we need to make them look rust because they're raw still. So I need to put acid to them, and then we have to seal it after. Put the wet look lacquer. So I would say that's probably gonna take a week and a half or so. So I want to say the last week of June. I'm gonna put them here. I'm gonna put them all. I'm gonna put the plans and everything, have them ready, and I'm gonna load them up in the semi truck, in the flatbed, and then we'll unload them there, ready. Do the work over there. So we'll take a forklift or something, get them off the truck, and put them on the spot.
Okay.
Will they be insulated too? Insulated?
Yes, insulated. Yeah, we're gonna put insulation inside. Yeah,
Because
to prevent. Go ahead.
But no, you tell them. I was just going to say what you were going to do.
Oh, I was just to prevent the heat, the overheat, the extra heating on the roots, the root ball, and also in the wintertime, too cold. It's not good for the roots. So we're putting insulation about half an inch, that foam sheets that they sell at Home Depot. We're just gonna put that inside, and then the plants in.
On those, Ronnie, we decided that those are going to be manually watered, correct?
Yes. Yes.
3 times a week, right?
Yeah, 3 times or as needed. Because I noticed the ones that we put in there, they're not using that much water. So we might be able to get away with twice a week.
A couple times a week on average. Okay, so
Yeah.
now we're not going to be doing any saw cutting or anything like that into the concrete. So it should be up and running, like you said, within the next 2-3 weeks if we're not doing all that infrastructure.
Yeah. And head and water, I think. No.
Sharon,
Yes.
I've had a hard time hearing this conversation, but those pots should be in place by the
Oh,
July
by
celebration,
the end of June. Right
by the
before.
end of June.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So they will be in before the 4th of July as requested.
Yes, they will be there. Yeah, that's the goal. Let me see. We're on the week next week, the week of the 21st. Oh, you still have the week of the 28th. Yeah, between the week on the 20, between the 21st and the 30th, they should be all installed.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank
Hey.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes. How do I?
Paige.
Okay, Sharon, can you go update us on the events?
Sure. The casino night was a big hit. We really thought originally if we had 150 to 170 people, we thought we'd be, I'd be thrilled to death. We actually ended up with around 200 people. And is that mine or?
Oh, sorry, that's mine. I'll put it on.
Oh, okay. And we made over $19,000. So we're very happy. And I want to tell you, just give a little bit of credit notice to everyone. We had a team of you that came out and helped me with the setup of the tables and the banners. And then Penny did the boots. I wanted originally boots, Diane, and I looked everywhere for boots and thought about boots for months. And Penny goes out 2 or 3 days, she has the boots, and fixing the boots, and those were our centerpieces. The event itself was fantastic because our leader here provided the bar, and it was a big hit. And so we're really looking for gems. 209 gems, am I saying it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We're really looking forward to when you open, and we cannot thank you enough for all that you gave to making this happen.
The least we can do.
So, and not only that, he brought we had a great auction, and Scotty just did an outstanding job. And we want to thank everybody that brought those 9 auction items, but that Terry, I don't know, between him and Joe and all of them, it was amazing. We made over $7,000 on our auctions, and Terry's 3 guns alone made over 4,000. I think it was 2,200, 12 something, and 1,000 is what we used. So it was amazing. And then Diana worked extremely hard at getting our auction items for the silent auction, and Penny put everything together for the prizes, for the winners, and people had a great time. I had people coming in and out of the office and calling and saying just how much fun they had. So we're very happy for our second event with the casino night, and I think it's something that for this organization it could grow if they so choose. And of course it was at Love's Barn, and I will tell you, he went a step and beyond, and they came, and we had a lot of different people that were there. All the council came at the time, and so did our supervisor, of course, was the auctioneer, and we also had Adam Gray came as well with Ryan, and they stayed all night and spent a lot of money. So we were really happy with that event. So thank you all who made it happen. And that is the sign of teamwork and everybody coming out and having a good time. And Joe specifically came over and told me it was a good event. So that sealed it for me. I thank you for that. So thank you everyone for making this happen. And Katie, you came on full board and gave us 250, and we used every one of those cards, and people were happy for that. So thank you all. It was a good thing. And Jean had really gone out and helped hang the banners, and I tell you, it was a team effort. So thank you again. The July 3rd celebration, there has been, I'm sure most of you have heard, a little switch. We will not be able to partner with the city as we had planned, but we've moved forward. We're actually the team that is putting the Downtown Association is sponsoring it. So we're 2 weeks out from that. Please, I'm going to give it to Jean, who's going to talk to you about the fireworks booth. But it's really important that we get that booth covered now, especially since we've had to come up with more money than we had anticipated and some extra costs. But I think it's going to be just fine, and we've always managed to make it happen. And we gave our word, and so it's moving forward. And so far, everything is good. Everything's moving in a good directions. Our banners are up. So Jean, if you want to talk about the fireworks booth.
Sure. So show of hands from the directors. How many of you received at least one or more emails from me with the fireworks schedule attached? Good.
I did.
Good. So I've heard from some of you. Some of you I have not. If you've looked at it carefully, you will notice that there are 69 shifts, 4-hour shifts on that schedule. We start selling fireworks on June 28th. It runs through July 4th. We sell them from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. Without people at the booth selling, we will not be successful. So we need people. I need, right now, I have 50 slots open that need to be filled. I'm also working with Rotary on their firework booth. So I'm giving up the chair of that booth to another person, but I am working on the Rotarians volunteering. That schedule is filled. We have 4 slots open, it's filled. So I compare Rotary's booth with Downtown Association booth, and we need some help. We have 2 weeks before we start selling. If there are people out there that want to volunteer, great. That's what I need. If there's people out there that want to pay someone $15 an hour, I have people that will work for $15 an hour. But that's the number one goal right now. Fireworks will be here on the 27th of June. Our booth is at the Starbucks on North Mercy Springs. We sit in a very good position. I've talked to a few people at the city level that are very excited that the Downtown Association has a booth on Mercy Springs in that location. There's a high population of people in that area with no booths. So most of the booths are all on Pacheco Boulevard. So we sit in a position where we'll be able to sell lots of fireworks. So that is something, but I can't sell them without people. And also to let all the board members know in case they hear this, because it will be out there, both TNT and Phantom are having difficulties with barges and ships at ports to unload their product. And so we've been notified that there could be a shortage of fireworks this year compared to last year. The prices will go up a little bit. They assured us that we will make as much money as we made in prior years as a fundraiser, but there are certain fireworks that just won't be available this year. So I'm just telling people if fireworks is your thing, to buy them early, because what we could be selling on the 3rd and 4th may not be available to sell. So
what are your key days, Gene, as far as the shifts? What would you say? 28th, 29th, 30th?
So in past years, the 3rd and the 4th, we sell 50 to 75% of all our fireworks are sold on the 3rd and 4th of July. So I'm still going to work on that. The manufacturers are telling us that there'll be another barge coming in on the 3rd of July, and they'll be giving them out the morning of the 4th. So we could be getting additional fireworks, but it'll be late in the game. But we still will get an initial shipment on the 27th to start selling on the 28th. So I'm just kind of working under the idea that I want to be fully staffed, and I would rather have more people there and then send them home than to have all these people wanting to buy and not have any people there to sell them.
So question, Gene, you had mentioned you have plenty of people to work at $15 an hour. So if someone wants to pay for shifts, you do have the foot soldiers to carry that out as long as they're compensated?
Yes, and it'll be kind of like they'll be working for you. So whoever wants to pay, you'll just pay them directly.
And we have, you said 69 shifts left?
There's 69 shifts total. I've got 50 left to fill.
Okay. Put me down for 10 shifts.
10 shifts with people or 10 shifts to pay?
Well, same, 10 to pay for people to attend, yes.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. All right. And then as I get these people on board, I always update it and we'll keep sending it out to you so that you guys will have the schedule in front of you. In case you run across someone, you can show them the schedule and say, here are the spots that I need help with. So,
And Gene, I'm still working on some college students to come out either volunteer or paid. I'm gonna get in with some of those slots. I got the calendar here. So I just got to figure out with my schedule when I can go out there and do some selling. I want to be out there. It's just the July 3rd and 4th I can't because I've got 2 events at my house. One's my wife's birthday and my daughter's baby shower. So it's tough to leave on those days. But I'm trying to get a bunch of college students, and if I'll also get some slots where I can get some students paid.
Great.
Joe,
So I'll get back to you on that, Chief.
Great. Thank
Joe,
you.
that's not gonna cut into what I needed on
No, I've already talked to the dean about the volunteers for the booth, and for the fireworks. The issue is I'm going to meet with her in the next couple of days, but I think they're out of school right now. They're in the summer. But if there's a summer session, I'm not sure what the scheduling is when they come back to the summer session.
when you and I first talked about the fireworks that I needed 12 on grounds for us, and you came back and you said yes. So that's not including those 12.
Correct.
Okay, good. Okay.
Gene,
Yes.
now each shift you said is 4 hours, right?
4.
4 hours.
8 to noon, noon to 4, 4 to 8.
Okay, put me down also for 10 shifts, just like David. Most likely I'll be paying for those.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Say it again.
I said I'll be paying for those, whoever wants to work for those 10 shifts.
That's 600 clams.
Yep.
Hey, you're down to 30 shifts, Gene.
Thank you. I'll take all I can get. I'll take volunteers too. I don't have to be paid people, but yeah, it's
It's
important. to
okay.
have
I mean, if we get like some students or something, that way we can help them out, you know, I'll be,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, I mean.
It's a short period of time. It's only 1 week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We talked about it.
Yeah,
Before. We talked about it before, Gene, and you had mentioned you had forgotten to mention it, so I'll throw it out there. If there are business owners who want to partake in this, they're allowed to promote their business while they're working the booth. They can bring flyers or something like that.
Absolutely. They can bring flyers. They're encouraged to wear their own T-shirts. They can hand out ink pens. Absolutely. They should.
I have a couple of questions. What is the what's the split with the fireworks company? And I may have missed this at some, well, not necessarily, what are we looking to gain out of this dollar-wise?
So it's a 60-40 split. Usually they try to make it 50-50, but it never works out to be 50-50. We get mostly 40. And it all comes down to expenses. So if you have your own person who wants to sit at the firework container from 8 o'clock at night till 8 o'clock in the morning and guard the firework container, you can save on that money. We have, I've worked for booths where they've had volunteers that were willing to sit there all night long and guard the fireworks. But if you don't have that you have to pay an hourly rate for a security guard to be there, and that's on you to pay for. That's the major expense. Insurance is an expense that you have to pay for to insure the fireworks. They'll insure them for you, but if you don't have your own insurance, they'll insure them for you, and then you pay them for the insurance. You have the expense of the actual firework booth itself. They charge you rent on the firework booth. It's not that much. They charge you rent of the fire extinguishers. They charge you rent or you have to pay for the metal container, but I worked a deal with our distributor that they're going to throw the metal container in if I signed with them. So we have two manufacturers. They have TNT and Phantom. So we kind of work deals out so that if you sign with one, they'll give you a little extra a sign-on bonus, so to speak. So we got the container paid for, but there's all these little costs that are all itemized at the end of the day, and they add up. So we're trying to mitigate as many of those costs as possible, but some things like security, I don't have a volunteer who's going to sit out there from 8 at night till 8 in the morning. So we're going to have to pay for security.
We already have. We've already secured the security.
Yeah,
We've already secured the insurance.
Yeah.
We've already secured. I was working with what's her name? Not the one that you originally wanted to change. Anyway.
Where's the locations?
The location of the booth is 360 North Mercy Springs at the new Starbucks parking lot.
Okay, on Mrs. Price, the
By
new
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, Circle K, and yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What kind of a tie-in is there with the downtown event? And I know Sharon said that we were no longer partnering with the city. How has that affected the downtown event? I know that we're not getting a chunk of cash that we were anticipating. Are we still doing a fireworks show or?
Everything's still on, everything. And been working with some people, sponsorships and some people for, but we have sponsorships. That's how we raise the money to do this event. So we're just moving forward. It's 2 weeks out. It's done. Everything's done.
Is the location still in Henry Miller Plaza?
Yes.
Okay, so that didn't move too. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so to answer your question directly, we probably, I really don't know until all the final numbers will be in, but I can tell you this, it's probably going to cost us an extra $5. And, or it could be a little bit more, but we also have an event that we just finished, and we have the fire booth that will be used. What I originally had hoped is when this was really done for the community, it was concerned of last year of COVID and everything that's been going on and people being locked up. And the city really had thought they were a part of this all the way up until last Wednesday. And then things changed. Things changed with councils and stuff. And anyway, it was 3.5 weeks. Everything was done. Our banners are up. The people notified. There's trying to keep it at minimal, just keep moving forward. And I'm not terribly concerned about paying for it at all, because we have money sitting in the bank for that. And we've paid a lot of the payments already, or down payments.
So to help offset the cost of what's happening on the 4th of July, the best thing to do is to get Gene his ships?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, a firework booth last year, the Touchdown Club had the Walmart location, and they grossed almost 100,000. So firework booths can make some serious money. It's all about promotion and location, and we're definitely promoting it. And I think we have a great location. So
I'm sorry, it's Mercy Springs next to the new Starbucks?
Correct.
Is that how locals would know it?
Mercy Springs on or Starbucks on Mercy Springs. That's how locals would know it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you have any of your social media, anything that you can send my way, I can share it across LBA's page as well.
Great. Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, anything else with Jean? Hey, great job, Jean. Great job, guys. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna get through this. We're fighters and we passed the PBID and we've got stuff moving forward already with our downtown and we'll do this for our community and for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You haven't decided yet on either TNT or Phantom, right?
We
yeah,
have Phantom.
a lot of that stuff has all been worked in the background for over the last 2 months. So
Okay.
Megan Neely is our representative from Phantom. In fact, I'm going to Modesto on Saturday the 19th to pick up our POS. POS stands for point of sales, equipment, and training. The fire department's having a community safety meeting with all the booths next week. So yeah, a lot of that stuff has been in the works for a long time, and it will be seamless to most people in the community. One thing that I wanted to let everybody know, in case you didn't know this, as part of the sponsorships that we had for fireworks, one of the sponsors, the biggest sponsor, which is Morningstar, one of the things they get to do is they get to set off the first fireworks. So we have a ceremonial plunger, and it'll be branded with Los Banos Downtown Association. So at the event on July 3rd, actually at night when we start the fireworks show, it'll be announced. There'll be a countdown, and so someone from Morningstar will be able to set off the fireworks. I've been involved with fireworks in Los Banos for years. Prior to 2013, that was the last year that they had a community fireworks show in Los Banos. And there's a lot of excitement, and people really enjoy coming out and watching the fireworks. This will put the Downtown Association on the map, I believe, because it will involve a lot of people will see this from outside of Los Banos. And having things like the plunger just gives credit to the sponsors. None of this fireworks show would happen without sponsorship money. These people are pledging, giving money for a fireworks show. They're not giving money for anything else, not planting trees, not fixing sidewalks. They're giving money for a fireworks show, but the end result of the fireworks show will be the revitalization of downtown. So it just kind of goes together. Everything does.
Sharon, I'm going to have to step out. I've got another Zoom meeting that I'm supposed to be in 5 minutes ago. But if we have to have a vote for the trees,
I do. Those are actually next. If we could ask these should go very fast, Joe, and then we can let you go because there's not much left.
Can I just give you my vote?
No. We're Brown Act. We have to run by Brown Act. You can't.
Okay.
It's kind of different. You can't have to talk when you're called upon. You have to give a vote at the time. So.
All right.
So we can ask the chairman.
Can we go ahead and motion that Joe go ahead and jump ahead to that for
yes.
voting on the trees? Okay, I motion that we come to an agreement on the choice of tree for downtown. Call this to a vote. And it looks like we're narrowing it down to 2 trees, the Natchez crepe myrtle and the Chinese pistachio. Is that correct?
Yes.
All in favor of the Chinese pistachio, say aye.
Aye. You can't do it that way. I'm sorry. You have to do a roll call vote.
Okay. Well, Diana has the roll call. And
yeah. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and do the roll call for him.
Okay.
Diane, can you hear me all right? Okay, I turned it down because the doggies were listening to their rabbits, I think. Okay, can you hear now?
I can hear, thank you.
Okay, so let's start with, I could probably do this from heart, but why don't you start? It's just the board members. So go ahead, start with Terry.
Right. Start with Mr. Souza?
Yes. No, he's usually the last, but that's okay.
Oh, all right. I'll start with Mr. Wilson.
What's the question? The maple, or am I supposed to say aye or?
No, you're supposed to say which tree you're voting for.
Maple. Was it a maple? The,
Now, is it Chinese, or Chinese pistachio or Natchez crepe myrtle?
the pistachio.
Okay,
The stash,
yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Penny,
Chinese pistachio.
Joe,
good hearing.
I like the crepe myrtle.
okay. Mr. Hussein,
The pistachio.
Mr. Joshi,
He's not here.
oh, that's right, sorry. Mr. Calvin,
Pistachio.
the stash,
Yes.
okay. I am voting for the crepe myrtle.
Okay.
Mr. Souza,
Pistachio.
You have Katie.
Katie, oh, no, I didn't say, Katie,
Crepe myrtle.
okay.
I think you have everyone. Is there
I
any,
have, 1, 2, 3 crepe myrtles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chinese pistache.
The pistachios have it.
okay. All right, then let's move to the next one. The large pots.
Is that for a vote too?
Yep, for a vote, just, we've got only 4. So the large pots, they're to be moved, you've got all the information. So I just need a motion that they'll be placed by the end of this month. If everybody agrees to that,
On all
Yeah.
30, correct?
yes. So
I'll approve it.
I'll call roll.
Are we
Oh.
doing a roll call on that?
Yeah.
Chair?
Yes, on each one, I'll call, just so we can get you out. Okay, Terry,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
who have I forgotten?
Me,
Penny,
Penny, yes.
Penny, sorry, Penny, yes, okay, and Diane,
And Katie.
Yes.
I said Katie.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Katie, did you vote?
I think I did, yes.
I thought- Yes, okay, I thought so. Okay, do I have everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's passed, that's a yes. The next one is something that we needed to talk about, and it's the signage in the downtown. Stacy and Taylor have been sharing this, and we need to go ahead and get this moving forward. So the committee has been working on the signage and placements of sign ordinances in the downtown area. We're asking for a motion to move forward on the signage and the ordinance for the downtown area to be completed within. Am I giving you guys enough time if I say 2 months? There,
If you're talking about us putting a draft together, yeah, I think that's enough time.
you guys there?
yeah,
Can you hear me? No? Hello? Can you hear me now?
yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 months. I think Taylor said that that would work for him.
Okay.
I did. Does that work for you, Stacy?
Yeah. Sharon, I think you're frozen. I would put that with the caveat that sometimes I get I'll just say hijacked on other projects. So I will do my best to help and meet that timeline. We're there basically, Taylor. We've been working on this for a while. We have the secondary signage pretty much drilled in of where we're at there. And then on the primary signage, we had that ratio. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Yeah, and I can work on that.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, we lost you over here. Okay, so I need a vote from the board, so I'm gonna go ahead and move down. Terry, But are you in agreement to go ahead and move forward with the signage?
You're on mute, Derek.
So we're moving forward with the vote share, and so everyone is clear just for a 60-day extension based on it to have a draft, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that a 2-month extension?
I'll get it to you. Let me do this. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay, Tom? Terry?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Joe, did you leave?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone I forgot? All right.
Yes.
Me again.
Penny, you're on that iPad. I don't see you guys. All right,
Okay,
Penny.
yes.
Okay, and Diana, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, the last one is the parking in the downtown area. The discussion on the parking in the downtown area and working with property owners who have parking lots that could be used for public parking. I want to know that the board will approve for us to move forward and looking into those parking lots. Brett is not here today. I know he's been working on that, but if I get a motion that and a move that we can continue and that the board is still interested in working with the property owners to see what we can do on those parking lots, I can give that information. So with that, is there questions on the question of for the motion?
Don't move, Tom.
So
Second.
moved. Yeah, we've kind of been forgetting that part, so we need to, okay. Thank you.
Who made the motion, Sharon?
Tom.
Sorry. Tom?
Mhm.
Okay.
Second was, who was second?
Me.
Okay,
Joe.
Joe.
Joe?
Mhm. Okay, what, let's see, Katie?
Yes.
Taylor? Oh, go ahead, Katie.
No, I'm not familiar with this whole process. So yes, is that what I'm supposed
That's okay. Obviously, I'm not doing real well with it either. Sorry.
to?
Taylor,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Penny,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
and Joe. Joe seconded it, but you still
Yes.
need. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, Joe, we have gotten the votes.
Okay. Well, thank you. And sorry, I got to skip out, but I got a college Zoom meeting. And before I go though, just want to reiterate, Sharon, that was a great event. Great job to you and your team. And so I will see you guys at the next one.
Thank you very much. Great.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
And I thank you. I wanted to tell you all too, because it's always the people who's closest to you that make sure you get things done. And then you forget to thank them for that. But I have a terrific staff that's working with me right now. And that's Jonelle and Dawn. And they both really worked hard on that event too. And I definitely don't want to leave them out on credit. Thank you. Okay, I'm turning this back over to you, Mr. Souza.
Okay.
I think the farm and tables where we left off. for
Yeah,
Penny.
Penny and Diana, we're gonna talk about the farm and table, then we're gonna go to Gene and kind of go over the marketing, give us an update on that, on social media and what have you. So Penny?
Diana, can you hear?
I can hear Penny.
Yes, we had a committee meeting the other day and we have selected a caterer. The farm to table dinner again is September 9th. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets will be $80 and pretty much at the plaza, we'll be getting the flyers and probably ticket sales out soon to the public. So I stand on that. And then Diana, if you can talk about the Farmer of the Year and what we're doing there.
We're working on, right now, we're developing a criteria for, and we changed the name of it, didn't we, Penny? It's not Farmer of the Year, I think.
Yes.
Verbiage on that. But we developed developing the form listing criteria for selection. And my understanding is that we're going to use past winners on the, I have a meeting with them on this. And then we're going to the community to vote. Is that still on, Penny?
No, it's not the community. They're the one that's voting. It's the past farmers.
Okay, the group, the past winners. Is that correct?
The past winners are going to be the ones who select the next.
Right. Okay. So that meeting will, I'm hoping within the next week or two to get that tied down. And then from there, we're working on sponsorships, and we'll continue to do that because we can get as many as we want. And working on the auction, both the live and the silent, and it's coming along well. So I think we're moving forward nicely.
Thank you.
Who's the caterer you guys selected?
It's In Good Taste. The problem is with, we went out to a couple of places, 3 places, and with restaurants right now, which is a crisis in this country, here, wherever, they cannot get staff. So some of them could have just delivered the food there. España's was one of those that could have just delivered the food, but we would have to figure out how to serve it. In Good Taste will be bringing the food, and they will be plating it and doing the service for us because it's a sit-down dinner.
Are you working with Bernie to get the local products from all the, because she has a good source of farm to table sources for her meals. Is she helping out in that area or?
Yes, that was when we sent out the proposal to all the businesses, the restaurants and stuff. That was one of the things they had to list sources that they could be getting their product from.
Okay.
Because usually during, and I don't know this year, this is more of a thing, because we do try to list on a menu where the product came from locally.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is farm to table. People want and expect local fresh produce and food. So yeah, that was part of it this year to make sure we were guaranteed that.
Okay. Thank you. Chairman.
Hey, Gene, go ahead and just give us a quick update on what's been going on with our social media and our marketing and what have you.
So real quick, we started with Mother's Day in the park, and then casino night, and now 4th of July, and then I'll be starting on the farm to table, and then the golf tournament in October. So it's one after the other. So social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, putting posts out there, and also as well as other things that happen in town, the official ribbon cutting of Mid-Valley Disposal opening up downtown. So I kind of wear different hats and go wherever the flyers need to be put out, and cover what I can, and then get it up and posted, as well as the firework booth. So and the banner you see behind me. So you're going to see some of these banners around town, because we're going to get them printed and get them out there. And so it's a constant battle to keep moving around and get things promoted. The website is a whole nother production. So if you go to the website, you should go to the galleries now. And we're posting photos, a whole gallery on casino night. There'll be a gallery there for Mother's Day, trying to get as many people I can to go to the site and get as many hits on the site. And the gallery is one of those locations. Updating the community calendar with all the events and activities that are taking place as well in Los Banos is also something that's being done on the website. So there's plenty to do.
Okay. I don't know if we're jumping around, but I have Stacy on the signage report, but I'm confused if that's the one we covered already, correct?
You have, yes.
Okay.
Gene, put me down from what I was gonna do. I'll take 10 spots for the fireworks booth.
Thank you.
Hey, Gene, I know you're wearing a lot of hats right now, but is it the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, the ones that you're trying to stay the most current with?
Those three, yes.
Okay.
The Downtown Association has those three accounts, yes.
Okay.
And we did, just so you know, and you'll see it on social media. Like I said, we did go to the ribbon cutting, the official Mid-Valley disposal. They opened up in Mike Villalta's old frame shop location downtown Los Banos, and Sharon did present them with a recognition plaque welcoming them to downtown.
Okay. Unless anyone has any other questions or concerns, I think we need to call this meeting an adjournment.
Can I ask one thing before you do that?
No,
Yeah.
it's 10:30. You're done. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Got a fork in it is what you're telling me. Actually, it's a personnel issue. I want to have a discussion after this in private session, personnel. And it's mine, personal.
Okay. Anybody else?
For an adjournment, and you'll need a motion and a.
Yep.
second.
Let me call for an adjournment. Anyone to motion that?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Eric,
Who was that, please?
Carrie,
Derek,
Gary? Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
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 Aye. I have it.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
Adjourn at 10:27. Okay.
thank you. We need to disband this. How many would be willing to stay for a few minutes? You have a discussion with me, but we need to go off of this line. And we need to open it just on a new Zoom. Take about 5 minutes.
You'll go ahead and send that out to the people that are going to stay on? Sharon?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Do I stay on the phone, Sharon, or do you want me to?
I need you to get off for now. I will call you back.
Okay.
Who's going to be